Hey guys, it's Postboxpat. Welcome back to a brand new Fortnite video. Guys, smash the like on the video in a second. It really helps the video get out there. And also, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Because if you haven't, you may get bad luck or you may not. So do subscribe, guys. So just generally smash that subscribe, guys. Thank you everybody doing that. It really does help out the channel. All right, so where do we start? Well, for those that looked at my community page today, I actually posted this well statement, which was a screenshot of this aged well. And this was from Fortnite. And they posted it on 5 days ago on one of their videos. And the video they posted it on was the Jonesy flare gun video, which came out in season 9 just before one of their pro-am tournaments, which was actually posted at the Block Party pro-am, I believe, which was over around E3 time in 2019. So what makes this post really interesting is they clearly had it all planned to link in with this Jonesy skin. I want to come up with two theories regarding this in a second. But the thing I want to mention is when I asked Donald Mustard the question at E3, I asked him, what season are you guys working up to? And he said season 12, season 13, that's where they were. And this was back obviously in season 9. And I thought to myself, wow, they're really far ahead. Now obviously we know season 3, which is season 13, it would technically be, was delayed a little bit. And that's because of all the water levels and all that hard work they've put into it. There was a lot of issues and there was a lot of map changes that are constantly happening due to obviously the level of the water getting lower and lower and lower each week or so. You know, it hasn't hit stage 3 yet, but when it does, I'll let you guys know. But also on Fortnite itself, they actually decided to post this on their This Aged Well. So I thought, you know, let's generally speak about this, because generally either this is because they clearly planned this in advance, like it's relating just generally to a teaser for season 3 with the flare gun and obviously the water levels and maybe a reference to the event. Or is it a reference to Jonesy himself, maybe some sort of time travel thing? Maybe this Jonesy could be part of the storyline, which we saw in my recent storyline video yesterday and a previous one as well. So yeah, interesting stuff there to talk about. That's why I thought I'd put it at the start of the video. It's a great topic and something which I was pretty excited for when I found out this. I didn't actually notice it until 5 days later, and I'm sure many of you guys probably haven't noticed it either, because obviously that video was quite an old video. But yeah, interesting to see that sort of stuff going on in the Fortnite world. So I'm pretty happy about it. Hope you guys are too on that side. Next little topic I've got for you guys is regarding Fortnite's release date for stage 4 or so of the water. So we haven't actually hit the stage 3 yet, but apparently when on the 21st, when cars get added in, the water will also be getting lower, and also the Galaxy skin will be getting released in the files. And this is also the same date the promotion happens on actually Samsung's side. Apparently, anyway, that's what people are saying. It's not 100% confirmed, but obviously as we get closer and closer to the time, I'll let you guys know more details on that. I've already made a video on the Galaxy skin though, the female one, so we won't explore that too much. We obviously already talked about how you can gain access to that for free if you are eligible. So really interesting stuff right there. Then some other interesting topics I've got for you guys to go over is this next one here. So on the PlayStation Store, apparently 200 V-Bucks was showing up. So I generally think this is because of obviously the new system which they're trying to introduce, which allows you to pay out for your skin. So for example, if you have a item in the item shop that needs maybe 50 V-Bucks or it needs 20 V-Bucks, you can kind of pay the extra V-Bucks, which will cost a little bit more than buying it than it would in a bundle, but you can kind of pay that off just to kind of get the V-Bucks quickly, just to buy that purchase, which would be useful if you have an odd number of V-Bucks like me, because I have a strange number for some random reason. And on the topic of V-Bucks, let's just show off the item shop quickly in the background. And while we're doing that, don't forget you guys can use code Postboxpat to support me. It'd mean the absolute world to me. Let's try and get to 10,000 supporters, guys. Obviously we lost a lot of supporters recently because of the season has already started and a lot of people aren't always active and on. But if you are on Fortnite, guys, enter it in code Postboxpat. Let's aim for 10,000 supporters, and I'll be shouting you guys out in videos. So here are a few shout outs to you guys. It really does go a long way and help me through these difficult times. So honestly, guys, really do consider entering in code Postboxpat. Thank you everybody doing that. It really does mean a lot. All right, so that's what we have for that topic there, and obviously the item shop you can see in the background, and the V-Buck topic, which is kind of interesting. The next little topic I've got for you guys is actually an animation of filling the petrol station. So I did like this one as well. So this one was really cool. So I think generally this is how it's going to look when you're going to be filling the why did I say filling the petrol station? When you're filling the car with petrol. Now this is really cool, and obviously this is how it's going to look when we get to do that. Now this won't be for a few more days or so. We've got quite a while to go. I know Fortnite come back from their break next week, so that's really good. So the staff will be back in working on it. Obviously there are still staff employed during during this time. Not the whole of Epic Games takes a break. It's only certain staff members, the main developers really. So obviously the game itself hasn't had its full updates applied, but when it does, obviously we'll get that for you guys, and I'll keep you guys updated on a lot of side of stuff. There should be plenty of content leading up to that though. As we know, we've got the current event which is taking place, which is the summer splash type stuff. Okay, some more pictures of the Petrol. So here it is again, a kind of refueling design for the Petrol. I don't know exactly why it's glowing orange or not, but it's kind of cool to see, and obviously this is how it's going to work. You're going to be able to pick that up and be able to refuel the car most likely. I don't know if you'll be able to refuel the car elsewhere with like fuel tanks, and will the petrol stations still be able to be destroyed? I don't know. If that's the case, then that will kind of reduce people from fueling the cars, which I think would be kind of interesting if we do see something like this happen, because obviously if you can destroy petrol stations, then that would work really interestingly, because cars probably wouldn't be able to be refueled as easily. So hopefully they do have like petrol tanks or mini tankers that you can find around the map where you can refuel your car. And it'd be awesome if you could refuel your car from actual like trucks as well, like other cars, or you could even refuel them from potentially a big truck as well, you know, like a fuel tanker that would carry fuel around. So that would be pretty cool. All right, so I generally think cars are going to be pretty complicated. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we think, and I also generally think that different cars will have different mechanics. There'll be several different types of cars, and probably more closer to the date. I definitely think the smaller, more sporty one will be the faster car, and the truck will be the slow one, because no one's really talked about speed yet. And I think because we've got boats, like what's the point of having cars, you know what I mean, if we've already got boats and they work pretty well on land as it is. So I definitely think the cars will be pretty rapid on land, so that's a really nice little change for everybody. Excited for that side of stuff. I know I am really excited for that, and I hope you guys are too. Then the next little bit I've got for you guys is obviously regarding the brand new agent pack. So the agency itself has been a pretty complicated thing. Obviously the agency and the authority, which is Ghost and Shadow, and we have the new pack which has been announced. You can see kind of a little bit of an overview of the pack in the item shop, what it would look like just then. And then obviously this kind of breaks into a little bit of discussion about how much is this pack going to actually be. So my prediction for it is it'll probably be around the usual price, about $20+, maybe £20 in the UK, maybe even hitting that 30 mark, because you are getting a total of 3 skins. But I believe the Shadow pickaxe pack will be a separate pack as well for the actual pickaxes. So that's kind of interesting, and they're kind of like golden pickaxes, so it really does kind of give the vibe of maybe potentially Midas has turned these into gold. And it also has the part of the double agent set, so this is kind of telling us that all the agency stuff last season was all kind of like a plot for Midas to plan his attack with, obviously, well, not attack, but his like plan would to retract or beat the storm, obviously, but unfortunately it didn't happen. He didn't defeat the storm, he didn't push it back enough, and obviously we know that left us into this situation where we are now. But generally, in my opinion, I think this is a very confusing pack for the Fortnite storyline. I don't really see the point of it for the storyline side. I personally am probably going to ignore the aspect of the pack being both teams, because it really does complicate things up between Shadow and Ghost. It kind of thinks, like, it makes people think, like, it even makes me think, why are they doing this? It just makes them kind of think, you know, these two are together now, because they're kind of like a mixed pack, you know what I mean? They're like on both sides, as it explains in this, the double agent pack. So I do think that these aren't really to take too much into account with the storyline. I definitely think there was something going on between Shadow and Ghost last season to allow for Midas to build that device, and it was interesting how after that event it suddenly turned to a Shadow POI. And what was really interesting about it is Midas was Ghost as well. Technically he was Ghost, and maybe he just turned into Shadow after the event because secretly he was Shadow after all. I think that's maybe what was going on, and obviously we saw that with the event, and then we saw that Jonesy, who was part of Ghost in that kind of simulating section, we know he was part of Ghost because of the signs on his desk. We know that he kind of thought, oh, Midas is trying to break out of some sort of device, with some sort of device out of this, some sort of kind of crazy simulator, and they clearly put a cap on it pretty quickly and stopped him. And obviously when they defeated him, he ended up becoming the Shadow version of Midas, and maybe they reprogrammed him if we are in some sort of simulator. I am definitely excited though, guys, for the upcoming event this season. I am expecting a lot of stuff in that, and I do think that it will kind of tell us part 2 to what happened with this simulation style thing. I do generally think that this is going to be a game changer. for the storyline in Fortnite, because currently the storyline has been a little bit confusing. Obviously Fortnite do point at different things, and it is part of their Battle Royale universe having a storyline there, which is clearly here. Obviously they won't put so much detail into different characters and different fort, but sometimes things can get a little bit random and a little bit mixed up because of just it's such a big community in Fortnite, and they don't specifically state what the storyline is. So one big YouTuber could go and say something and suddenly so many people believe them, and that's not always the case. As you guys know on the channel, we always review every single theory and try and pick out the best, most possible ones, and we've done that since season 4 now, and a lot of our theories have come true. Even the meteor eventually hitting Dusty was one of our early theories, and it happened. So, you know, back in the day, we've got all these theories covered, and we've got everything covered on the channel for you guys, but just keep your eyes out. There are a bunch of YouTubers recently creating Fortnite storyline content, or not just Fortnite storyline content, but mentioning the Fortnite storyline content and not gaining a full understanding of it, and confusing a lot of people in the community. So just be careful on that. Obviously take things as theories from some of the newer YouTubers into the Fortnite storyline area. People like myself, obviously it is a theory, but you know, we've had stuff in the past which has come true. I can probably assume that there is still going to be this battle between Shadow and Ghost for a little bit of time, but I don't think it's going to be a main part of the storyline just yet. I think we've got to discover who this Jonesy person is, John Jones, obviously on the other side, and then that will give us the full reveal. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming in the future on the channel. Thank you so much if you made it right to the end, and if you happen to have made it to the very end, last few seconds, comment down below double agent, and that'll let me know if you made it right to the end. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in future content. Once again, this is Postboxpat signing out.